Hey, Kalei here. Now that the Academy Awards are over, we have reached the point in film discourse where we reflect on whether each nominee/winner was an underrated masterpiece robbed of every award or complete Oscar bait trash that will be forgotten about in a couple of years. So what film out of the 50 celebrated this year am I talking about in this video? A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg, an Academy Award-winning performer,
I got to pee. PB time.
Kieran Culkin. The film tells a simple story of two cousins embarking on a Holocaust memorial tour in Poland in honor of their late grandmother, and through that tour, old tensions and trauma between them resurface. Despite what a lot of people are saying, I wholeheartedly believe that this film is more than just Jesse Eisenberg playing himself, and Kieran Culkin just playing Roman Roy.
Narrative, control it. Control the narrative.
Like a lot of critics, I initially brushed this film off as an ego boost for Eisenberg and to an extent Culkin. Something about the buddy dramedy and written/directed by of it all screamed like, hey, look at us, we can do it too. But then I watched it, and then I continued to rewatch it multiple more times after that, and I fell in love. With each rewatch, my appreciation for this film grew. I also came to the uncomfortable and, dare I say, painful realization that despite David and Benji being polar opposites, they are two sides of the same coin. And I am that coin. But I also came to another realization. This film isn't just about how we cope with generational grief. It's about the complex relationships that form because of said grief. Like Benji, I feel so deeply about everything, which ultimately leads me to flip like a light switch. My highs tend to be full of euphoria, and my lows go below the depths. It's hard for me to just feel in the middle, to just be. So I tried the David method of being as type A as I could. I would worship my calendar by keeping myself busy with work, with outings, with content consumption, and for a time, SSRIs. They helped for a bit, but I ultimately went off them. I figured out it wasn't for me, but I have been working through everything in therapy. But all of that, minus the therapy, is ultimately just a way to avoid what we don't want to deal with. And in complete contrast, Benji is as type B as it gets. He just kind of goes along with whatever's happening. He doesn't have a schedule, and he just lets himself feel everything all the time, uninhibited. And it's difficult when you suddenly snowball into a bad place. It can cloud your thoughts and judgment. You feel abandoned and that nobody really cares for you anymore. I mean, Benji said it himself.
You literally never visit me.
What, sorry, you mean in Binghamton? Purposely making me look like an asshole for questioning it.
Fuck off,
Yo,
dude.
you fuck off.
Why don't you give a shit about me anymore?
So much to the point that you start to make serious choices that you might regret. But that can't be further from the truth. David clearly loves and cares for Benji deeply, as shown by his dinner rant and when the two are smoking on the roof.
I'm just so fucking exhausted by him sometimes. I love him, and I hate him, and I want to kill him, and I want to be him. Okay, and I don't want to lose you, okay? You see how people love you.
And it's at that moment Benji learns he is loved, but at the same time, because of his outburst, or whatever you want to call it, it can be difficult for people to give him that love because they don't really know what he needs, or that Benji can't really accept that help. But now back to the plot of the film. People tend to go on these tours or go to see their old relatives' childhood homes for some type of closure, to say, I can rest easy knowing I did the thing. But it seems to be hinted that David and Benji don't get this closure. Their visit to the grandmother's house and the symbolic gesture of placing the rock at the doorstep is quickly cut short by a disgruntled neighbor. But in a much larger sense, the cousins don't get closure from their conversation on the rooftop either. Despite not getting the closure they searched for, David at least finally got to have that serious conversation with Benji that has been stewing in him probably since his OD. And Benji both metaphorically and physically, gets the slap in the face that needed him to wake up. David may not be around as much as Benji would like, but he knows the love is still there. Benji also realizes he is quite capable of making other connections. And that's what makes A Real Pain special to me. This film doesn't leave off on the happy ending of Benji meeting David's wife and son, and Benji suddenly getting better. It leaves off where we met Benji in the first place, just at the airport. But he's hopefully at least starting his new arc of getting better. It promises that the love is out there even if we can't feel it, and that everything eventually will get better. And maybe that start is just what we need.